Hey, welcome, good night, welcome to the sweet spot. How you guys doing, man? It's been a very interesting crop over. You've heard a lot of comments and stuff, but you know, if you got out into the Calypso tents, you would have seen some pretty good songs, some interesting music, well done compositions. I felt that this year had a lot of songs that you had to pay attention to. It was not a bad year at all for social commentary. And indeed, it wasn't a bad year for the soca music at all, because we had at one time so many songs. I mean, at the end of it, one or two really stood the test of time. But I want to say thank you to all the artists who spent a lot of time making sure that their songs were done, rehearsing the songs. Sometimes you don't even understand what these guys and gals go through. It's not easy. You got to make sure your song is well learned. You got to make sure your rehearsals and stuff are in place. So I want to thank all the artists, and I want to tell you guys something, both men and women. Without a song, there's no crop over. There's no crop over. There's nothing for the bands to march down the road to. There's nothing for the promoters to promote and make all that money that one don't really make much offer. There can be no shows, so respect oneself, make sure that your Calypso body is strong, support your Calypso body because they in turn would support you. But we cannot have a crop over festival without the music. And also congratulations to the hard work put in by the bands. A lot of these guys and gals spent a lot of time at the band houses, coming up with their costumes, making this and making that, coming up with the ideas. Man, look, thanks for making the festival indeed what it was. And all the technical people who played their role, because there were a lot of people technically who had to come together to make it happen for crop over. I say thank you very much. I believe it was a good year of music. I don't even know that the radio stations were able to do full justice to a lot of the artists and a lot of the songs. It means that there are lots of songs left over, and there's still a lot of music that can be played. Unfortunately, after crop over, we just like go into this different frame of mind, dive back into the pool, and then we bring back all the Jamaican music and all the other types of music, and there goes a whole year of music down the drain. Anyhow, I'm the Admiral. Good to have you on board, and thanks for joining us tonight. We got an exciting show. We've got the two junior monarchs in, a male and female. We'll tell you more about that. We've got CHETWYN Stewart in tonight. We're going to talk a bit about the bands. I know you talked about the new route. You talked about the costumes and the making of the costumes. And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to that. We had some interesting things happen this year. Bruce Almighty was again victorious this year. But this song is a nice song. It really is. It stays with you. There's a haunting melodic line that stays with you, and the message is really good. Then there was TIONNE HERNANDEZ, who was the shortest song ever in the history of Barbados's music. I can safely tell you so. We have not had a song that is no 1 minute and 43 seconds or 53 seconds, but she was able to do it, and still with such a short song, was able to have such a major impact on the people of Barbados. Because, yeah, every time you hear that song, you had to get up and dance, unless, of course, you were put there by the foundry or you were cement or something. But that was really, really good. Cleve Scott is coming back tonight. We're going to join Cleve because we're going to have a quick review of what happened during the festival as far as the basic Calypso Monarch show is concerned. Adrian Clarke wins his third Calypso Monarch title. That is something we'll also look at tonight. We got the points. We got all types of things. So we can look at all those things when we come back. But guess what? We can start this show because the Kings must lead, and especially the type of performance that he put down at the Botanical Gardens was really something else. Now, I could say a lot about this song, but I won't. But I want to go back to 2001 when he had a song called This Melody. And if you don't remember, stay tuned to CBC TV 8, and you'll hear Adrian Clarke singing This Melody.
Last night as I lay sleeping, I had a dream and I woke up crying, cause it frightened me. I dreamt Soca was dying, vital signs needed stabilizing. Lord, how could this be? Her BPM was 160, she needed transfusions of melody. There were hardly donors in sight. Would she make it through the night? Her pulse was not of a consistent beat, and her heart was getting weak. Must do something and do it quick, before to the grave beyond she fled. So that's why I'll be singing this melody. I'll give to she, powerful and strong, to help Soca push on. Each note that I sing, I'm hoping will bring my Soca around to a healthier position. Whoa, la 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 la. I said no, we can't let me Soca go. No. Soca's children gathered round she, with solemn faces and eyes all teary, wanting to lend a hand. They were powerful performers, sweet singing lyrical masters, trying to orchestrate a plan. Lyrically, Soca was suffering, repeating topics endangering her life, hanging on the string, need an antidote, the right medicine. She had the syndrome of jump and wave, destined to take it to a grave. Her fever rose another degree, Soca's demise seemed likely. So you see why I'm singing this melody. I'll give to she, powerful and strong, to have Soca push on. Each note that I sing, I'm hoping will bring my Soca around to a healthier position. When all seemed lost and lonely, no fresh topics, lyrics or melody, suddenly hope was found. Dressed in black from head to toe, wearing a grey beard, he cast a shadow on all gathered around. He pulled out a roll of topics, altered 500 cc's and lyrics. Sweet melodies flowed from his vein, giving Soca freshly sunlight again. Strengthened the pulse and the heartbeat, and as Soca rose to her feet, he said it's up to you and me to keep her out of the casualty. Stadium join with me singing this melody. I'll give to she, powerful and strong, to have Soca push on. Each note that I sing, I hope they will bring my Soca around to a healthier position. Whoa, lie, 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 lie. I said no, we can't let me Soca go. Sing it, let me see your hands up. If you really love this melody, you really love Soca music, put your hands up. Let me hear you. Get up on your feet. Oh, oh, powerful and strong,
Yeah, about the years of the National Stadium, Adrian, Clarke, this melody. Just before I go to break, I want to say this to the judging panel, though. It is not right, and I would like to find out how it became possible that somebody could forget their lines. And there were two people in this competition who totally forgot their lines. One was the former reigning Calypso monarch, Ian Webster, and the other one was Mr. DJ. And I do not see how they could come before anybody who did not forget their lines. To tell me that Amara come last, I will have to investigate why she didn't come before Mr. DJ or Ian Webster. I do not understand it. There's no criteria followed that can justify that for me, because they would have failed miserably in rendition, and the points for rendition are enough. We'll take a pause, compliments Axel Finance, and we'll come back and talk to the winning junior monarchs of 2024. The sweet spot compliments Axel Finance. It was a good junior monarch this year for sure. And at one time I thought it was going to be really tough to determine who was going to come out on top. So I didn't envy the judges. But tonight I've got with me the winners. I've got the 2024 Scotiabank Junior Calypso Monarch, SAKARAH. She's in. And Mr. Showman, welcome to the sweet spot.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good. Thank you so much. I'm softened today. I'm going to get on stage and get on bad. Tonight we're going to make it happen here. First of all, ladies first, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And you are the returning monarch.
Yes.
Because last year you would have mashed up everybody else too. You've got some good company. Crystal Cummings-Beckles looking after a lot of your stuff. And Crystal, as you know, is quite good. She's not being given the biggest accolade in the country, but maybe that's going to come a little later on. But talk to me about this song, because this was very interesting.
Okay, so this song is actually, if you listen to the lyrics, it
The
starts
present
off
future.
Yeah,
Right.
the title is The Present Future. I know when some people heard it, it probably was like, what is she coming with? What is she singing about? But it actually is about, it's comparing the similarities we have between planet Earth and Mars. And if you listen to the lyrics, it's saying, it has a line in the song where it says, they're pushing the rocks up in their nose, walking about with all their crack exposed, like aliens to distant sea. We in Mars already. It's basically saying we acting strange down here as well. Yeah, we basically in Mars already down here.
The message was clear, very, very clear. You rendered well. The competition was a tough competition, and I was thinking, and I want you all seeing this little innocent face here. When I saw her on set tonight, I said, you look like 11 or 12. She is in fact 19 years old, and this is her final year in the competition, so you would have gone out having won twice, and that's a wonderful feat. So my question to you would be very simple. You come out a great world of social commentary. Is this going to continue?
Yes, of course it will. I am looking to go into Pick the Crop next year.
Wow.
Yeah, that will be my first year in Pick the Crop, but I'm very excited and I feel I will do great again in Pick the Crop.
Right, and she's going into Pick the Crop. Could I tell out the secret where you're going? Don't tell it out. All right, I'm not going to tell where to find her. I'll listen next year. But let's have a look at her performance on the finals night, Junior Monarch.
Good night, Barbados. The dictionary definition of strange is alien. So when I look in society, I see aliens look just like you and me. So in 2030s, when they plan to colonize Mars, so we humans could float around with the stars. I beg NASA and Elon Musk to make us stop here in Barbados. We're extraterrestrials walking among us. 'Cause it's really clear to see, in this reality, it seems like we in Mars already. Elon must know that his mission is not original. Elon must know they just love to be unconventional. Elon must know that we love to travel to foreign places. Elon must know we must be the first ones in outer space, 'cause they're pushing the rocks up in the nose, walking boats with all their crack exposed like aliens to distant sea. We in Mars already. Mismatching, wearing the brightest clothes with a ring like Saturn, pierced through their nose. High and space out like zombie. We in Mars already. We in Mars. We in Mars already. Smoking.
I tell you, a little tiny bunny on stage getting all real bad. And I was asking SAKARAH before I go to my next Junior Monarch King if she listens to Calypso, and she indicated yes, she does. And I think that Mr. Showman was very surprised when he heard her humming Adrian Clarke's song, this melody. But you did say you listened to a lot of Calypso from over the years.
Yeah, I actually do. I listen to a lot from back in the days. I think Adrian Clarke, I think that was 2001 or something. Sometimes I just go on YouTube and pull up a lot to see what I can get from it and stuff like that.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. All right, well, congratulations on your double win.
Thank you.
And go forward in your tank next year and bring some nice social commentary. I think with Crystal and the others backing you, though, you'll do well. Mr. Showman, how are you,
Hello.
sir?
I'm tired.
You can't afford to be tired now. Were you tired? You've been working, you've been singing, what have you been doing? You played Mass this year?
Yes, I did.
Who you played with?
Fifth Element.
Fifth Element Mass. And the results from Fifth Element were quite good this year, by the way.
I had fun.
Giving it the crew, yeah. Mr. Showman, I mean, whenever you come on stage, the expectation is great. The place is expected to break down. What happened this year at Junior Monarch? Congratulations on your
Thank you.
victory, too.
I was a little bit nervous.
You don't get nervous. I don't
No.
understand. How do
This
you
is
mean
the
you were
first year.
nervous? Okay.
First year.
Why you were nervous? Competition was too. I thought you were ready. That's the title of your song.
I
You had been
was,
ready.
but
But
I was nervous.
so you knew the song, because there's
Yeah.
some things that stop you from being nervous. If you're comfortable, you're confident, you had enough rehearsals.
Yeah.
Tell me about Mr. Showman. Who is Mr. Showman? Who is this person that we see on stage, and when you come out, it's like the whole place come to see you?
All right, first thing, people don't really believe it, but Mr. Showman kind of shy.
I would
Kinda
believe
shy.
Mr. Showman is shy, but we
Yeah.
don't see that.
No,
Oh,
I
so-
don't really shy.
Okay, good. So who are you,
I like to laugh a lot.
right?
I like to laugh.
Where you come from in Barbados? What area are you from?
Christchurch.
Christchurch. You got a posse that follows you around?
Yeah.
Because I could tell, because when they announce you on stage, it's be like, wait, everybody in the building come for he.
Everybody know who is that coming next. Everybody know who coming next.
Tell me about your experience in the Junior Monarch thus far. How has it been for you?
It has been good. Last year was my first year,
Right.
but I had went to watch in 2022.
Right.
So when I wanted to sign up, I was told it too late. So I was like, damn.
Wow.
I just wait till next year. So next year came, and I was like, let me go and have fun. Let me just get out like we don't care. Because this song name we don't care. So I was like, let me show that we don't care then. This year, no. The song that I sing, I was not supposed to sing. But something happened, and they said all right, since I already got this song, I can sing it. Let him know I'm ready. And that's what he did.
You see where the confidence is now? He's a confident young man. He was ready. He went on stage and he started stuff. And I'm going to show you how ready he performed on Finals Night. Let's have a look at that performance from the showman.
Free up yourself and just celebrate. Gather on where the music play. Come together, let we just congregate. Spread some real love inside this party. Look now, everybody gearing up. The every season come back again. We go jam and tear it up. Cause I could be limited. Play your mind, the stress is behind. Just thought I vibe. Another time of your life. Free up yourself and just celebrate. Gather where the music play. Well, come together, let me just congregate. Spread some real love inside this party. So tell them we ready, ready, ready to participate. Ready, ready. So now they open the gate. Ready, ready. There's nothing blocking the way. Ready, ready. We heading out. Every party we go.
Confident, Mr. Showman. I want you to talk to us about these feelings that comes with going on stage and looking as though you are 100% confident, but we have no clue what is going on backstage with you. So talk to me about the belly hurts and all the other things that you go through. It must be something else. And you're 15 years old.
Yes.
And relatively new to this, relatively new to it. So I could imagine
soca.
that you would have been a bit nervous. But as you said, new to soca, but you've been singing for quite a little bit.
Yeah, very long time.
Yeah, it was a long time. You're only 15.
Well, singing from, starting at 2, walking home from there, singing at 2. So.
Okay, but we've all done that now. Come on.
Well,
you walk home from wherever you're walking home and you're singing. Any competitions before Junior Monarch?
Yes, I have been in Beige to the World,
Right, I saw you in Beige.
BIM Got Talent, and Richest Out.
Yeah, so you've been there, done that. At 50 years old, you live almost a long life of singing on stage. So what still makes you nervous? Because on this night, you were kind of taken aback. You got hungry at the same time. You got thirsty. You got belly hurt at the same time. You were.
I don't know what happened. Everything just come at me. Yeah. I don't know. I just started feeling it. I was like, oh, my belly hurting. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty.
Let me ask you. You do. Oh Lord, Alicia, don't jerk me like that. You sing soca now. You're comfortable. But I know from hearing you sing elsewhere, you could also do a good commentary or two. Have you thought about that?
I was to do it last year.
Last year.
But I said I wanted to do soca.
Right.
So I just said I want to walk up.
You want to walk up? Well, that's fair. I'm not going to take that from you. That's fair. We got a lot of walk-uppers on the show tonight, apparently. So that's very fair for you, something else. So you had a tent in mind, and
I wanted to do House of Soca,
right?
But I was told I too late.
Too late? You know, maybe the band. Because House of Soca had nearly about 40 people. They had a lot of people this year, too. A lot of people. So I could imagine it might have put a little strain on the band and stuff. But you're thinking about it, right? Because it's important.
I can do it next year.
Yeah, because social commentary gives you a base, a very strong base. Once you step off of social commentary, you can do almost most things. And then who's behind you, though? Who's helping you write and do all these different things?
Well, Ready was from Antigua. It was written by Talia King and Eric McGlory.
Okay.
And it was mixed and mastered by Randy Eastman.
Well, Randy Eastman.
Yeah.
Right. You thinking about it, guys? Getting into putting pen to paper and writing your stuff. You start with a little idea and then it develops into something huge.
But I ain't finished.
I know you're going to tell me so. You look like that character. You start writing a song, put down 2 lines.
And I'm not done there.
Come back next year. SAKARAH, what about you? You ever thought about it? You're around Crystal, so that can't be all that hard.
It is. It is.
It's
Mine was probably sound like a nursery rhyme or something.
That's okay, you know. They will tell you a lot of times that is where it may start. But if you use the English tentacles, you can PCFATB is a nice little theory, a concept that you can use to help to create songs. And if you write it PCFATB, so if I tell you let me sing about rain tonight, and you use that formula PCFATB, you can find yourself rain, the part that rain plays, in life. C, a chronological or historical development of rain. F, the facts of rain. And you see where you're going down? So you're going down, so you got verses, and then you use your standard English and understanding that you establish what the song is going to be about in the first 2 lines, and from there you start to develop on the song. So it's not as hard as you think it is. And after a while, it becomes a part of you. You get in the bath and you start to sing, and I always say it to you and everybody else, when you get in the bath, you start singing that song, but the time you come out and put on your towel, that song gone. So you got to remember to try and got something with you that you can record.
It's recording.
Yeah, some of the best artists in the world will tell you they pull off on the side of the road because something hit them.
And they start right.
And if you tell yourself, nah, when I get home, I can write that. When you get home, you don't remember.
You don't even know.
That's what I mean. So I hope that you all do workshops and stuff. You all do writers' workshops and stuff. Because NCF, they do a lot of writers' workshops, guys.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. So NCF, you got to get the word out to the young people. I know that you work hard with the artists and writers' workshop. People think that the NCF is only crop over. That's not true. The NCF works throughout the year to make sure that certain aspects of the culture remain intact. So maybe you all could, on your own, call to find out if there are writers' workshops available. I believe in ownership of product, and when you own your product, you do a lot better than if you have to depend on somebody to do things for you all the time. There's a particular individual this year that suffered immensely from that. The formula did not work, so we have to make sure that you guys don't end up in such a quandary. All right, good. So let me congratulate you.
Thank you.
Right, for doing very well this year. You were nice on stage. You are out of the competition now. You're going to the big yard. You're meeting Tia and all them up in there with you now. You got Trinity and Tia, some nice young people in there. So it'd be good to have you in there. And you got a couple years left. There's victory number 1. So
There's number 1. Yeah.
maybe, come on, throw away them nerves and them belly hurts and things.
I hope it gone next year.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, you've been watching and hearing the conversation featuring, of course, our 2 junior monarchs. Thanks for being a part of the festival. Encourage your friends to come in and continue cooking. Ladies and gentlemen, you're a vegetarian, right?
Yes, please.
Right, so when she said she was cooking tonight, I was wondering what she was cooking. And she said she was going to a particular place to buy food. Anyhow, we will not get into that. Have a good year, people. We'll take a pause for cause, and when we come back, we got some more exciting stuff here on the Sweet Spot. All right? I'll tell you what. You ever heard of a guy called AJ? You know him? A little nitwit, little fella. Real powerful, real confident. Well, I can drop that commercial for a minute. CBC, don't kill me. I can just drop it, all right? Let me go and play some AJ. Performing a song called Born This. This guy got real attitude, but he's sweet. AJ performing Born This Way. Check him.
My name is AJ, every Jesse, and I was born this way. I live in a soil walker, and I was born this way. I was born this way. AJ in my blood, and I was born this way. When the top man play, I just tap my wrist. When the sally start, I got a woman heart. I just rode it horse, and the last shit sit, and the stroke up there. I just jump down with. Barbados, good morning to you and me. Crop over is all that we Who flying fish? Born this way, that's the national day. Born this way at Bristol Market. Pigeon in winter than they would born this way. Born this way, our new hero. Born this way, down Westbury Road. Born this way, the Rihanna Drive. Pigeon in winter than they would born this way. When the top back play, I just tap my way. Man, it's how they start, I got to hold my heart. I just do them all. When you not shit say, when you Soca play, I just jump and wait. Born this way, 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 born this way. Pigeon in my brother, they would born this way.
Yeah, just before the break, AJ with his Born This Way, the current monarch of the Blackman Gollop School. They've got a long and strong Calypso program going on up there. But you know, attitude is very important. And I had a little chance to see him tonight. And I like him. He's mannerly. He is very, very brave. He's not loud about anything he does. Once the music starts, he just kicks in. He reminds me a lot of very young Lil Rick. One personality backstage, but when that music starts, it's a totally different thing. He has a lot ahead of him, and I see his mummy is with him and stuff, and I hope that he is handled and managed well. But I will say to you, he has started well because he's mannerly and he listens. I love it. I love him to death. Really nice, AJ. Certainly wish him the best from Blackman and Gollop. Well, this year was a bacchanal year for the Starter Pack crew. And it gives me tremendous pleasure to welcome TIONNE Hernandez to the sweet spot. Second time around this season. Good night.
Good night, Admiral.
How are you?
I'm fantastic. How are you?
Well, that smile I know has to be obvious tonight because you had a year, man.
Right.
This was a big year for you. And we'll talk about, you know, the expectations and stuff because you came here on the show and you performed the song on this show.
Yeah.
Was it happening before then, or did it jump off even more after that performance?
Definitely even more after.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was, I guess, raising at the time, but afterwards it was kind of like, it just went off.
Good. Let's talk up about the season. My concern a lot of the time is that the artists are all over the place, jumping all over the place, doing all types of fetes and parties and everything, and I wonder about remuneration. Did it work out this year for you?
It definitely did. I have a manager, and she did a
Nice.
fantastic job this season as well. We had a lot of battles, I can't lie, but overall, it was well done.
This song, Starter Pack, the shortest song. the shortest song. I mean, what happened at live shows with you? Because You can't go on stage for 2 minutes. This crowd want you for 10 and 15.
Well, usually I would talk to the crowd.
Right.
So, you know, we will have some banter, start the song, pull up the song, start it again, you know. So we work it, we work it.
I noticed you had a lot of support on stage too, which takes away sometimes some of the pressure. So you had your dancer girls.
Right.
And then, of course, you had other songs on this rhythm.
Yeah. Well, Faith had a song
Faith
as
was
well on the rhythm.
huge. Yeah, she was pretty big. You all got a chance to perform and stuff together?
Yeah.
Most of the time?
We performed probably like twice, maybe we did it together.
Yeah. You know, this year would have been a wonderful year for and first of all, congratulations on being the runner-up
Thank you.
in the competition. Bruce Almighty edged you out a bit.
He did.
But to come runner-up in the competition is still quite good.
Yeah,
It's still
yeah.
quite good. It meant that this song did well this year, and it's going to put a lot of pressure on you to stay there for next year, because all eyes is going to be on this little tiny whiny
Fine twine.
Fine twine, right? TIONNE Hernandez. What happens now? The festival is over. The big stages are gone, and this song out there is still lingering. What about the region? Any impact? Any calls?
Yeah, and we are still working. So strategy. Yes, there's pressure, but I'm not trying to take on the pressure because I'm not trying to meet anyone's expectation except for myself.
Was it pressure?
The pressure is to make sure that you come back strong next year, because that's what
right.
everybody's saying. You know, you want to make sure you got to come back next year.
Wow.
And I am coming back next year, but trying to be better than I was this year. So not absorbing people pressure, but making sure that I feel satisfied with what I have when next year comes.
A lot of talk about the festival this year. How was it for you? Was there any negative involved? Did you have fun at the fests?
I mean, when you have a lot of eyes on you, of course there's negative, because you can't have all positive, but it has been majority positive, and I've gotten so much love from the Bajan people that I can never complain. I won this year. Definitely a winner.
Yeah, I could imagine. It was indeed a lot of love. And when you see the radio stations take to your song, and it's in every rotation, that speaks to a successful song.
Yeah, and I am so grateful to the DJs. A few DJ friends, they know who they are. I am grateful that the DJs were pushing the music for sure.
Let me say to you about that. let me tell you about that. Too long, the artists have placed a lot of attention on the jocks, but there's something about a song that forces the DJ to touch it.
It's true, and when you hear a lot of the rhetoric online about DJs not playing the music, sometimes it's not them, it's what people want to hear.
Exactly.
So that's why the aim was really social media.
Exactly.
Because social media then and the people influence the DJs. So just gotta think about it a little.
There you go. So you've got another avenue. Once upon a time, it's very limited. There was just radio. You had a hope that your song was liked and played and all sorts of things. But now you can upload that on YouTube, Instagram, all types of things. With a video, of course.
Right.
With a video. Videos are very important.
That's true.
You do your video and you do well. What are your plans looking forward? So there's a big song. Let's put this one side. There's a big song. What happens to TIONNE now that the festival is gone? What's going forward? How's the rest of the year going to be?
I am working on what next year is going to look like. I'm working on even continuing to put out music, because even though there's a season, I think that there are other seasons in other countries that, you know, so we're just looking at trying to push the music now outside of Barbados and make it regional, make it international, because you got hot girls all over the world. So the song is not a song that is cemented only on this island, you know, so we're trying to take it wherever it can go.
I always ask about protection of artists after you've gone through a year, a very successful year and all that. We don't have situations in place where there are insurance policies for artists. It's not easy for people like yourself to go to a bank as an artist and get a loan or mortgage or anything. Do you think like that? And if you are thinking about it, what are you doing to try to protect yourself in that area?
Well, I have a solid team, and I am not only an artist.
the most important thing that I did coming out of school was making sure that I went to university to get a degree that could support my dream of being an artist.
That's what
right. So I studied marketing, and a lot of people have been saying that the marketing for this song was excellent.
Right.
And I want to take all the credit for it, but I made sure that I had something that can support me in my dream and not just, you know, do music and not have anything else to fall back on.
So we can say that TIONNE is in safe harbor.
Yeah.
Going forward. It's interesting because all these funds collected got to last all the way down the road for a long time. Unless, of course, you're a marketing specialist and you want a little piece at CBC with a popular face.
I'll take it.
You know what I
I'll
mean?
take it.
We could do with that because I could imagine if Starter Pack goes to anybody now with such a big song. Oh yeah, you know. Oh yeah, interesting. How did you stay up all season? Because you had many nights out, maybe many days out. What is that like? Sleep? No sleep?
Honestly, it's extremely tiring, and everyone around me would tell you, I would be sleeping backstage. I was sleeping backstage at Soca 5.0. I was sleeping everywhere. So it is extremely tiring, but it's so rewarding as well. Yeah. So, I mean, when you get on the stage and you feel the vibration and the energy from the people, it makes it worth it.
Look, I am so happy for you. The fact that you came on to our show when the song was just about developing, and I'm told that you never say no. You always come. if you call TIONNE, she coming, which is really great, and we do appreciate it. You know,
thank you.
You've made our show really, really good this season, and I certainly wish you the best, and that's very genuine. And I want to allow Barbados to see a bit of your performance at Soca 5.0.
Oh my gosh,
that was dubbed one of the best shows of the season. You felt it? You felt that way too?
I'm just going to say that Soca 5.0 was not one of my favorite performances of myself.
Oh,
but
you get on too bad? You do something that we should see?
You know what? It was a lot of adrenaline.
Yeah, right. Right. She admits it. It was not the most decent show of myself, but TIONNE, we thank you, man. Relax yourself. Let's have a look at that performance and the response. This was a good performance from her. Soca 5.0.
Thank you for embracing me. 2024 is the year of the woman. I want all my women out here to push for what you want. And if the door open it,
here, and at the top, I told you, despite what would have happened, we still had some good music, some really excellent contributions, both in the party, in the social commentary and stuff. And it might have been 50 years of celebrating, but a lot of stuff started late, and we've got more young people getting into the Calypso tents, getting into the major competitions, and wanting to do well. The artists have asked for return of the party Monarch and stuff, and I'm saying to them, don't worry if the NCF doesn't see it as necessary or important. They're doing their full load. You can take the lead and produce a party Monarch. You can do it. It can happen, and it will be good. Cleve Scott was with me, as he is every year. I think for the last 20 years we've been doing this stuff. And Cleve joins me now. Let me say good night to Cleve. Cleve, good night. How are you?
Yeah, good night, Admiral. I'm good.
Cleve, barely hearing you, but yeah, there you are. Okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
Good,
yeah.
good. What a season, Cleve. I know you played a multifaceted role in this season. You did some recordings for local artists here in Barbados. Of course, you were on our program, as you have been for a number of years now. When you look at Crop Over 2024, from your perspective, how was it? How do you feel about it?
Crop over this year was tremendous. Never mind what I'm reading in the press and what I'm seeing on Facebook. I congratulate the National Cultural Foundation, the Ministry of Culture, the Emancipation Village, a beautiful innovation. We had the opportunity to see Calypso tents even after the pick of the crop finals. Then the Soca 5.0 and the decision to broadcast it free across the region. I got so much feedback from all across the world. And in fact, many persons have been telling that the best calypso competition in the world is in Barbados have been writing to me to say that they do agree. And I mean, there are some person who say that the material has not been good. I wouldn't agree with them. We had very, very good material.
Yeah, I concur. And I'm happy that you mentioned the whole concept of showing it free. For many a year, we've sat here and talked about that for those people, the shut-ins and stuff, who are unable to get out to these Calypso shows. And I really want to give credit to whoever was responsible for bringing a lot of these programs, particularly on CBC TV 8, and then, of course, on social media, on YouTube, and allow the people in the diaspora, those who would have wanted to come to Barbados but for some reason could not have made it here, they were able to go up and see these shows online. Always very important. And as I said, whoever was responsible for that, I want to congratulate, because that takes a lot of coordination, and it also takes a lot of permissions. And I think that sometimes we sit in our homes and we take these things for granted. It is not easy to get the permissions and all that is required to show these programs. And I, like you, I want to congratulate. And I've mentioned on this program before, I had no issue at all with the quality of music this year. I think we've done well this year, better than a lot of previous years. We've done quite well. As we look back though at the Calypso Monarch competition, Cleve, and we looked at those scores, it was interesting to note that coming into the finals from the preliminaries, and I want to talk to you a bit about this, Adrian Clarke, who eventually won this competition, came from the Calypso tents into the finals with the most points. And it ended up that way. I think the only person, when I look down the line, who improved on her position would have been Tia, because I think she came in at 11 in the final points coming out of the tents. But of course, on finals night, she was given a much higher position. Look back at that competition, Cleve, and talk to me about the songs, the compositions, because there have been a lot of questions as to the quality and stuff. I think that it was a pretty good competition.
Yeah, well, as you said, when you look at the scores that have been revealed by the NCF, it shows that the top four, top 4 or 5 were consistent going into the finals, and the final result was consistent with what the judges did during the 10 judging or the preliminary stage, as it's called in some countries. Now, there are about 4 or 5 songs that didn't make it. You had Charisma, you had Romance and Murray, and I walked in Romance and Murray, and I really believed in that song from Romance and Murray. But when you look at the scores, you see that she still did well as Charisma. Um, but when you look at like Kid Sight, he did much better in the finals than he did in the preliminary. But overall, when we look at the songs that made it into the finals, yes, for 1 or 2, I think they're pretty good songs. And these 1 or 2 songs, they had a few lines, a few words here and they had to change them. They would have been much more effective from my perspective.
Yeah, I'm thinking Cleve, I don't know, as we are CARICOM and we tend to want to bring the region so close together. I would like to see the day when we can invite 1 or 2 or maybe 3 judges from around the Caribbean who judge soca in the region, Calypso in the region, to come and be a part of our panel, to come and join the panel. It will be interesting to see the type of results that we may have. Now, I know with the coming of the judges, it would also mean that they have to be very au fait and aware of what's happening in the country at the time, because a lot of the Kaiso songs normally play to that. But there are also some general Kaiso songs that, you know, are in the competition that will make judging a lot easier. What are your thoughts? I think that's so important that we do that.
Judging is a very difficult job. Everyone is not me like me or you, Admiral. They would hear a song and instantly can tell this melody or these lyrics from here or there. I I heard songs in different tense, and I heard elements on these songs that I can identify where they are, where they came from. Now, the fact that we are going from the preliminary straight into the finals, it doesn't give for me the panel enough time for it to soak in, because not every song is being played on the radio frequently. Most radio stations will probably play 6, 7, 8, 9 songs, and this year we had about 90 songs in the competition. To be familiar with 90 songs, to judge 90 songs, is a difficult task. My position is, and as a member of the Barbados Association of Creative and Artists and BACA, my position is that we need to revisit how the competition is run. I think we need some intermediary between the preliminary and the finals, whether it's a semi-final or whether you judge 2 nights and you take the average. But there need to be a discussion about how we compile the judging panel in the 21st century and how we judge Calypso. We've been doing it the same way for the longest while. Yes, except a couple of years ago, experimented with picking judges from the audience, but I think we need to go back to it again.
All right, we just got a little doubling of the audio here, so I just want you to bear with us a bit. Cleve, you feel it is important that we reintroduce a semi-final in this competition? Is that your thoughts here?
Yeah, some kind of semifinals or intermediary. It could be that instead of judging a tent once, you visit them multiple nights. So you judge on 1 night and you probably go back another night and you take the averages. This is done in Antigua. I mean, there's so many different ways that Calypso is judged around the world. And you have to respond to the concerns of the singers, of the Calypsonians.
Yeah, I want to apologize to my viewers. I hope that it's not annoying you so much that it would turn you off, but we just will deal with it. I think we should have that settled now. Cleve, about the finals, do we need to resort to 2 songs or just leave it at the 1 song?
Well, so far, so good. The 1 song is going beautifully. The
Yes.
concern is among the Calypsonian and the audience is that they think that they're not necessarily getting the best songs at all times into the finals. That's not my view, but I am concerned that if we want to keep the Calypso competition going, the pick of the crop, we need to respond to Calypsonians and the audience. And so they're asking for the return of the semifinals. But I'm saying that going back to the semifinals as we had it before is not necessarily the best route. But we must agree that there's a need for something in the middle. So one night, 2 nights, whatever.
Yeah, well, I don't know what that would be. But I would say to you, my take on it is very simple. I think as it is right now, I don't have a problem with it. What I like with this concept right now is that it gives more of the Calypsonians an opportunity to get into the finals. You and I have gone to various venues where the finals have, been done and staged, and we have seen Calypsonians with two songs, and a lot of the times the second song said nothing, meant nothing. We've had a situation here where in the last couple of years, we've had 18 Calypsonians going to the finals, and we've had a good time. You get a chance to see a greater variety. You give more people an opportunity to get to the finals with that one strong song. You don't need to sing two songs to prove to me that you're that good. You don't have to do it. A lot of the Kaiso tents have gone in that direction too, because we've seen this year that House of Soca was able to pull nearly 20 people. All Stars was able to pull nearly 20. I think the Shining Stars Calypso tent had about 14, 15. Big Show had a whole lot of people. So you give more of the artists with so many people employed in the Calypso tents an opportunity to be able to move from the Kaiso tent to the final. So I don't know where now we would place the semis. What maybe you can do is come from the Kaiso tent into the semifinals with about 40 people, and then break it down from 40 either to 10 or 15 on finals night. That is possibly a place where you can put the semifinals. So you judge them in the Kaiso tent, which would be the preliminary. You get 40 people coming into the semifinals. And as you know, you've followed Kaiso in the region. In Trinidad, it's an entire day of a semifinal at Skinner Park. And then they choose the lot from there and they put them into the finals. I think they take about 10 from there and take them down to Port of Spain at the Queen's Park, Savannah, for the finals. So maybe it is something that we can try. They're not interested in two songs. You come and you sing that one song and you perform well and you go forward. And again, as I said, it gives more of the artists an opportunity to be able to get to the finals. All right. We will take a pause for a cause. Of course, compliments Ansel Finance. We've got CHETWYN Stewart, who has paid yeoman service to the festival of this country with his band Power by Four. It'd be good to hear of his thoughts this year. So we'll do that when we come right back on The Sweet Spot. The band mass, an integral part of the Crop Over Festival. Lots of people across the world go online to book their costumes, to come into Barbados, to enjoy our national festival, Crop Over. And without guys like the next youngster I've got on the set with me on the Sweet Spot, we would not be able to do that. I want to welcome CHETWYN to the Sweet Spot. Good to see you, Guy.
Good to see you also. Good night.
My first question to you is, what has become of Power by Four? that obviously is the first question.
Yeah, and that's a question I get all the time. Yeah. But actually this year, Power by Four did the World Cup. And that was 6 months in doing. So that's why we actually didn't bring a band. Because it normally takes us about 11 months to bring a band. So, and we were just full into the World Cup.
11 months tell me then that after 1 year, as soon as that day is over, you are preparing for the following year.
Yes.
Let's look at the mass, the mass bands. Are you satisfied and happy with the several aspects we got to look at? First of all, let's look at the route, the new route. What is that all about? How are you guys reacting to it?
Well, it has been tested and it can work. That's the most important thing. Obviously, though, in terms of logistics and in terms of running the road, you see a lot of people, you know, always come and blame the band leaders for everything. But we don't produce Grand Kadooment. So therefore, it's necessary, I would say, from what happened this year, for now the bands to get together, discuss it, and then go over the NCF, and then together, you know, fix the problems that you had. Because a lot of time people point fingers, it's the bands or it's the NCF. But actually it's both. They need to, you know, come together, have the plan, and execute it.
What are some of those issues? Because I sit at home and I watch it. My only concern that I've got is that there aren't enough people in the various sections of the band. You out there, CHETWYN, you're into it, you're a lot more technical, so there may be issues evolving that we don't really see. What are some of those things that you can talk about that needs to be looked at and needs to be solved?
Well, as you just mentioned, right, because the number of people going on the road and taking part, over the years, every year has been a decline. Okay, in 2013 we had like 20,000 revelers.
Wow.
In 2014 we had 15,000 on the road. In 2013 we had 10. In 2012 we had 11,000. But over the past 6 or 7 years, there's a major decline in the revelers on the road. So a lot of times it doesn't really matter the amount of bands, it is the people on the road. Because like earlier I was on Morning Barbados before everything started, and I said that there would be one band with about 2,000 people, and then the other bands would be smaller, and then some of the bands would actually be very, very small. So after Crop Over, I did look at it also, and really and truly there were only about 8 bands that looked like bands, and then some of the other bands were like 100 and 120 people. So it can be rectified. Right?
How are you going to rectify that? Because
incentives.
okay,
You see, at the end of the day, a lot of people say it's about cost. It's not about cost. The mass is about women, and the women will pay the money if they want to go in the band. I did about 30 events this year myself, and some of the events were 250 people, $250, $300, and then the women bought outfits, spent like $1,000 on one event. And if the women want to go on the road, they will go on the road. But I find over the years now, the incentives are not there for some people to go for Grand Kadooment. They do the fetes, they do the 4-day morning private events, but they're not, you know, enthused about going on the road. And that's something that we have to work on. And to get band leaders to bring bands, there have to be incentives. At the end of the day, if it don't make money, it don't make sense. A lot of people say, oh, the costumes are expensive, but it's the package that they have, right? We don't just sell a costume, we sell a package. And when you are good at doing that, people will come. I mean, there's a band called CLEVE. CLEVE, actually I called Avery tonight. I didn't even know that he was in 9 different countries bringing masks, right? So we have people out there who've made it and who are successful at doing it, right? But the younger people here now to bring bands, when they come to me and they're talking, I said, no, we do a budget, and they see, well, look, we could lose a lot of money based on what we have to risk, because band leaders risk a lot. People see the end result and say, oh, you had X amount, the people had X amount of money, but they don't know what it costs to bring a band. The last time we did a budget on Part by 4 was a good few years back, but it was $535,000 to bring the band with costumes and everything. So it's something that you just can't rush into.
What is the major impact on the cost? Why is it so high? 500,000, yeah?
Because you're looking at costumes now that are very expensive. You're looking at the trucks, you're looking
Costumes
at
that
security.
are bought or made
That are
here,
bought.
or-
Most of the time, people now they have the costumes made overseas.
Right, okay.
Right? It's not long gone are days like with Cranston. You know about
Right,
Cranston.
yeah,
I came
yeah,
over with Cranston.
yeah.
You know, we actually used to help make the costumes, and the materials and everything are different. So a lot of times people say, well, the band leaders made this or they made that, and they could do this or could do that. But no, you have to give the public what they want, because remember, with social media and people looking at the bands overseas, you could go and make costumes you like, but if you don't make what they want, they're not going to buy them.
So you need then possibly in order to, because these costumes that you are talking about, there was a lot of talk this year about the absence of heritage Barbados to an extent, where a lot of the personalities of the Crop Over Festival are never featured. What you're saying here is that from your point of view, a lot of people are not interested in that. A lot of people are interested in those costumes that basically look sexy.
No, but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there are party bands and then there are bands that are different. But so I'm saying that people have to know the market. There are a lot of people who would jump in traditional costumes if they are produced well, and if the band outside of the costume is the band that now has to bring the entertainment, bring the drinks, bring all the different things, make sure that it's successful, right? So we don't have a lot of people interested now in bringing the heritage band because there are not incentives like the prize money and stuff like that. It's not difficult to do a king and a queen, you know. All you have to do is offer, because they have individuals who would do a king and a queen and then approach a band and say, well, look, I want to bring my king or queen within the band. So it's all about having the right incentives to get people to be interested in actually investing in bringing the band, or to get young people to make that move. Because there are young people who are doing 4 day morning that would love to move into pretty mass. But when they sit down and do the numbers and see what it's worth for the incentives or the prize money, they just said no.
Okay. Cleve, I know you're still here with us. I don't know if you've got any input or any questions for CHETWYN Stewart, but I know we are struggling in Barbados when it comes to mass, and when it comes to traditional mass in particular. We are really struggling. So Cleve, I don't know if you want to jump in here and ask him any questions.
Well, earlier in the season, we spoke about the importance of getting a kind of a king and queen of the band back into crop over. I think the masqueraders need to go back to the Insta and discuss this. Especially, we now have what is called the season of emancipation, and masquerading is part of African tradition. But as Shetland correctly indicated, the cost of putting a band is astronomical. Even to put a live band on the road, you know, when you study the cost of a trailer, generator, permits, and so on. So my question for Shetland is, where do we go in the future? Are we going to continue with the beginnings? Where will we go in the future? Is it that we're going to have 4 in the morning take over from what's happening on a Monday?
Not want for their morning to take over our main mass at all, Cleve, because for their morning has its fun and has its space. So CHETWYN, we have to find ways to make sure that our mass is maintained, that we move to a different level, a better level, a higher level, to go back to the whole concept of the affordable for their morning would be a travesty. It really would be.
Yeah, but it's two different things. 4 day morning is 4 day morning.
Totally
Okay?
different.
I mean, over the years, we have people that jump 4 day morning because it's 4 day morning, it's
then
night,
jump.
it's a different thing. And then the jump,
yeah.
and then the jump pretty much. I mean, you yourself, we go about the days in Trinidad. We would go to Trinidad, I go Brian Larfay. After that, the whole clothes in the car, we go and do 4 day morning. Then we ready to go and do the fets. And then the next day, we go and do Monday Mass. And then after Monday Mass, midnight Mass, then Tuesday Mass, and that kind of stuff. So, you know, they're two separate things. And as I said, the bands are definitely serious, you know, after what's happened, and they can relook everything. And then I'm very optimistic about next year, right? For one, I spoke to the Prime Minister, and she is willing to work with us and work very hard on it. As I said, it's a matter of giving the right incentives, having the meetings early, not waiting last minute to decide they can do this, they can do that. Because outside of the bands, a lot of people talk about the bands and the revelers, right? But the spectators are a large part of Grand Kaduma. Yes. There are people who come out on the road and they bring the kids to watch the mother or the aunt jump. They play an important role. And Barbadians is a different culture. Bajans like to get involved. But we also have to make sure the security is on the road so the bands can flow. So we were happy this year to see the Defense Force out again, helping out and doing stuff. But then you hear the complaints about, you know, they bring them out, that they had the bathrooms for them, they had this, they had that, you know. So it's a matter of looking at it holistically, sitting down with the NCF. The bands need to play a bigger role in the execution and what it's about, right? And letting them know what we also need. Right? Because at the end of the day, you can't plan to come down the road to 4 o'clock to feed your revelers, and you get down the road at 9 o'clock, and half of them ain't come there for the food, and God throw away the food. There's a lot of things that you wouldn't know that goes on, but it all has to come back to do with planning early, having the meetings, and executing what you plan.
But how do you get the buy-in from the public? Because I think a lot of people stay away from a lot of the bigger bands for one reality: I cannot afford to buy those costumes. My thing to you, CHETWYN, is where do we place those people? There must be somewhere for those people. They may not be able to spend $2,500 or $1,500 on a costume, but if they could get one for $300, $400, $500, it could work.
And you'll be surprised that I would tell you that this year they actually had costumes for $400 and $500, right? So I'm saying it's not all about the money. I don't want to say this, but you know the old saying, people say you got champagne taste and more. So there are a lot of people who will look and see the bands that are expensive, and their friends going in there, and they can't afford there. And then there's another band they could afford, but they don't want to go at that band. They prefer to stay home, you know, than to go at that band. So there are a lot of things that have to be looked at, but again, it's not only about the money. It's about the bands coming, as you said, a traditional band come out, target people who want to play that, and assure them they could get the costumes at the price and they can produce it and get on the road. But people are not going to do that if they don't think they're going to be successful. So there again, as I said, we have to go back to incentives.
Years ago, and I want to hear about these incentives. What do you want? What would you like to see happen as far as an incentive is concerned for the band?
Well, in terms of people bringing bands, again, if it doesn't make money, it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So there have to be prize money, right? So say, for example, if you want to bring back King and Queen, you have to offer a certain amount of money for the winner of King and Queen, for somebody to go and invest in making a costume.
You're talking like $100,000?
Not so much, not that. But say for a King or a Queen, and it may cost somebody $25,000, you know, to make it.
To make it
and think of whatever. You know, if there was a prize money of even just $30,000, somebody would risk doing that. Or whatever.
50,000.
You know, but they would do it. And now, as I said earlier too, now that Kensington has been upgraded, you see that cover that is on Kensington, right? That was proven the other day at Rice. That about 8,000 people on that. And that new cover is totally different from the little green thing that I had before. Light goes through it, the grass goes through it. You know, you can safely say now, early a year in advance, the finals can be at Kensington, this event can be at Kensington. You know, it's a bit graded. So we have to plan and get sponsorship.
I hope so, because, and I mean, CLEVE is here, so CLEVE, you can come in whenever you wish. But I want to say to you, and you know this, several aspects of the culture of Barbados is missing from even the so-called parades of the band. And I'm not talking about the band and what it's putting out. I'm talking about all the other elements that could help to impact on presentation of band.
Yeah.
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So you have a nice stage that the bands can walk across. And while walking across there, you see the display of the king and queen of the bands or other cultural elements that that particular band, be it aura or whatever, would want to display. This might encourage more people to come and get involved. I understand the incentive.
But not only that. You see what you just mentioned, the stage. You know what's the most important thing with the stage? Is that people like to go and be seen.
And be seen.
If you have a stage
Yes.
that has a camera showing it all over the world,
Yes,
or then
yes,
recording
yes,
it, you know, Trinidad used to do it. In Trinidad, after you play a mass, a week after a video comes out showing all the bands, people rush to buy the video because they know they can see themselves. Or on the stage, like how we used to go in Trinidad, you start different locations, but bands had to cross the stage because the people want to be on the stage so they could be on camera, so that the family in America and England can see them.
Yeah, you
We
understand
pushed
that.
for a long time that the stage should come back to Barbados. The reason why they didn't bring back the stage, which I don't think is a good excuse, is that the same part by 4 break down the stage. Remember years ago, right? We didn't break the stage down though. We went and we up top the stage. The first section was 200 main, 40 main. I turned to get the other section ramp up. They were on the ramp at the start to jump
Right,
and then
and
disappear. And people started to clap, thought that it was part of the performance. But no, the whole ramp had collapsed. But that is because the ramp didn't have steel under it. We had an engineer come in, he looked at it and everything. The top of the stage was good, but the ramp was just done with wood. So all you have to do is build a proper ramp. We can't go back with the stage because you raise a valid point. If we had a stage, a lot more people and bands will have the encouragement to go to that stage. And as I said, you don't. It's not at the stadium now. You don't have to do the judging point right after the bands pull off. You could put it down by Kensington, let the bands pull off on the helipad, then they will be lined up, then they will be warm up, then they'll be together, and then they cross the stage. And that would be a spectacle, because that's the other thing. What we have right now, we can't show to the world.
No, we can't.
Right? We can't show a band with 2,000, then a band with 100,
That's right.
and then not people party. So all those are things, without saying too much, all those are things that we're looking at. We can be in consultation with the NCF soon, and definitely we have to improve our product.
The drone shots made a lot of the bands look so scanty. I mean, I was home, I was like cringing. No, we can't be serious. But one of the other issues we got, CHETWYN, and I think we probably will do a commercial break and come back to, but I want to look at the fact that a lot of the revelers don't seem to see the importance of staying in their areas. You have to stay in your group, especially when that band is going to judge, because that's when you're going to see the true feel and color of the band. And I find we have a lot of that in Barbados, a lot of indiscipline in that regard. Don't band leaders talk to the revelers and the people who sign up as to this is what you have to do, this is what you should do?
Well, you see, the issue there is that most of the bands now are just party bands. Some of them are not too particular about the judging, or they may have, like this year where the bands move so late, the band leaders are more interested in getting on the road and getting the band down the road. So they're not interested in, like, you know, organizing the section and stuff.
So that's horrible. That's
Right.
another
So
discussion.
that is why you need to make sure to move on time. I jumped a Blue Box car, and Raymond was very upset that he had to move late. So for any time Raymond moved across the stage and down the road.
All right, sweet spot. We'll take a small pause. We'll come back and continue our discussion here. Yeah, welcome back to Sweet Spot. One of the things that I always watch Brazil Carnival for, two things. One, and I implore every Barbadian who want to have a look at what real mass is, you can go as soon as the program is finished and type in Brazil Carnival 2024 or 2023 and have a look at it. You'll be amazed. Chetwyn, I come back to, when I watch that carnival, I see sexy, very sexy, but I also see tradition. I also see traditional mass. And when I talk about traditional mass, like there was a section of the Brazil Carnival that portrayed King Pelé, the footballer who'd pass. And when I saw that, I said, oh my goodness, this is amazing, because there was a lot of stuff surrounding that, a lot of nice little historical facts and all types of things were happening. It was like really amazing. And then at the back of that, there was this massive costume section with all the sexiest people in the world you could think about. And behind that, in the same colors, portraying another aspect of something that would have happened in Brazil, let's say for the year or whatever. The announcer would come on and tell you exactly, oh, this is what is going on, this is what is being portrayed and stuff. And that for me, along with the indiscipline, I like to call it an indiscipline, of bands coming on the streets of Barbados, and you got section members all over the place. When technology has gone to a stage where now you've got the overhead cameras, the world is watching. They're saying Barbados can't seem to get it together. These people look so disorganized. The bands, when you all sit down to have your discussions later on in the year, you guys have to seriously look at this. Because in the carnivals in the region, I see a set of uniformity. I see that these bands are well planned. I see that the costumes are well displayed. I am not seeing it in Barbados, and not now, for a few years well. Bajans seem to, and this whole concept of people stand up by the side, I know was the reason for that. I know the simple reason for that is that a lot of people cannot, even if they want to, afford to play mass. That is the reality. I am sure that if we can go back to the NCF, because the poor NCF, we can go back there.
Why you say the poor NCF?
No, but they get licks for everything.
Well,
that's why I said the poor NCF. But I'll say the same to you.
Deserve licks?
Not all the time.
No, I agree,
not all the time.
Both the bands.
Not all the time. A lot of the private promoters in this country deserve a lot of licks too. It ain't only NCF. A lot of private promoters deserve a lot of licks, because this whole concept of bringing kings and queens, I will say to you, do the bands approach private Barbados to look at sponsoring kings or queens? That's my question. The private Barbados sponsors the Calypso tent. Sometimes they sponsor individuals and stuff. And I just asking the question, you're a band leader, so you're going to be able to tell me. Do they approach certain people in this country for sponsorship? If a Calypso king or a band king or band leader king or queen costs $25,000, you can't get Courts or somebody to sponsor that.
Well, to answer your question, the bands approach everybody, but things have changed over the years. And you have to understand, and you should understand this, right? When a band, I give myself as an example. Years ago, probably before, it was $25,000 to sponsor a section. All 6 sections were sponsored. It was $75,000 to put your name next to Par by 4. Producer the band, we got that once from Mount Gay, right? But things have changed. When then the NCF doing 18 events approach a sponsor and say, look, I could put you in 10 events. You give me X amount. The NCF is now competing with the bands.
So you got competition.
People don't understand that.
Yeah.
You understand? So, and then over the years, what's happening that the sponsors now cut back the sponsorship, right? Because they realize they are not getting value for the money, from the NCF, not from the bands, right? At the end of the day, I've always said, Grand Kaduma is the largest event of the year. There's no more food sold on any other day, no more drinks, right? Grand Kaduma itself could get major sponsorship to sustain Grand Kaduma and also the prize money. You just have to make the water Grand Kaduma, the rum Grand Kaduma different. You will understand that concept. And then if you're doing the event and you're controlling Spring Garden, then your sponsors only their problems will be sold there. And then the people along the road could get incentives. If I go to one of them and say, look, this water is sponsoring Grand Canyon, we can give you 10 cases, only sell this, right? This year, remember, from MAPS back to the stadium, normally about 10,000 people line up there. Correct. Now, when you go from MAPS down and take that out, that is 10,000 people, 5 of them get at least moved to the other side. But you forget now that people started from the helipad. So you can easily set up stations along there, advertise them for people to go. They can have bathrooms, they can have games. My father used to take me to horse racing. When the horses weren't running what I was doing, I was down there playing colors or doing something else. It's the same thing. If you set up things along the road for people to do, when the bands pass, then they come there. There are a lot of different things that can be done. It's for us to do them. The other day on Morning Barbados, I spoke about goat racing. I know I have about 15 people calling me, want to see this goat racing next year. Want to see the grease pig, want to see the grease pole. There are a lot of things, as you said, back in our culture that we don't do. And back to the bands now. A lot of the bands are party bands. So their fight is just to get the people on the road and get on the road and please what the people are doing. Not about the costumes and the sections and that thing. But I agree with you, that is needed. But again, you have to give incentives for people to do that.
Right, and I want to say to you, that what is seriously missing is the collective color of the costuming of the bands on Kadooment Day. I do not think, look at your screen and see what I'm talking about.
Yes.
When bands stay in their segments, right? And this is a portion, I believe, of Brazil Carnival. And I want to thank Alicia and the crew. Now look at that. Now, this is full clothing. This is traditional mass clothing here. And it still looks nice. We've got this concept here in this country by a lot of the bands who believe that the only way to look nice and attractive is to look sexy. Look at that. Look at the color. The bands, the members are staying in their positions to make sure that the judges have issues with determining who's the best band on parade. This is a fine example of what I'm talking about.
You have to admit that they are what you call troops. These are people, again, we are not in the stage, as you said years ago with Cranston, where we actually used to go and work and help make the costumes. I jump in Acid Raid, I jump in Wildlife Reserve, I help make those costumes. We just want to hear that Kenny Buffel was the section leader. What you're talking about now is groups of people coming together.
So we get
and
worse?
doing stuff like that.
We get worse, Chet?
Huh?
You're saying we get worse?
I'm saying that it's not impossible to be done, but there's a whole different kind of thing. Right, when you look at Brazil and you look at what they do, that is a different thing than what we even do here in the Caribbean. Look at Trinidad. Even Trinidad has the same problem now in getting these kind of things done. But it's not impossible to do.
I see Trinidad, I see Trinidad, I see Vinci, I see St. Lucia, I see Antigua, and I still seeing formation. What's wrong with us?
Again,
I still seeing formation in the islands?
Again, you need numbers to have formation.
All right, Chetwyn.
When we get numbers, you can bring back color.
All right. Chetwyn, I want to thank you for coming. I know that you're a trooper. I want to congratulate Kevin Small, Fifth Element Mass, Mike Kropover. He was the best designer for the festival, the Robert Weeks Award. Congratulations, Kevin. Keep doing. Then there was the Brands of Barbados Award, large band, Betty West Productions, celebrating We Holidays. That was a pretty interesting show. Then we had Brands of Barbados Award, small band, again, Kevin Small, Fifth Element. And of course, I want to congratulate all those. And I did mention at the top of the program that we do appreciate the hard work put in by the band members, the band leaders, for bringing this spectacle. But when it gets on the road, it must look like a spectacle. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Sweet Spot will return right after this. Got a lot of time for this youngster, AJ. He's back on the sweet spot, no bad vibes. Let's have a look at his performance.
Rolling, it's easy. Move over there, every justice. So go do got my voice. Rolling,
Switch production.
move over there. All my soca lovers know fast forward. Back it up, no fast forward. Back it up, no fast forward. Back it up, no fling your hands at this guy and fast forward. Back it up, no fast forward. Back it up, no fast forward. Back it up, no levy, been a boy. Boy said that you outside, but get that, so we get what? How we come to party, I'm watching people from far. How we come to have fun, but be rude, cause in the mood. Serious enough, more for sure. Can't even give a what. Roll waves, move over there. Move over there. So go don't got bad waves. Roll waves, move over there. Move over there. All my soca lovers know far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no fling your hands if you're swinging far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no levy, been a void. Don't talk to soca fit and don't even break a sweat. Always standing at the front and don't even bust a walk. Always come and fight it, so I know we got to done it short. The DJ ready, artist ready, nobody police ready. No voice, move over there. Move over there. Soca don't got bad voice. No voice, move over there. Move over there. All my soca lovers know far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no fling your hands and it's going far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no levy, bill avoid. Soca lovers for party hard. In the street or in the yard. Soca lovers for the form of portal. We're not going to end the soca. Soca lovers enjoy themselves. Never know when life will end. I'm not sure if you lost someone. Come with our angel love. So roll waves. Move over there. Move over there. Soca don't got bad voice. No voice. Move over there. Move over there. All my soca lovers know far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no fling your hands so they say I'm far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no far forward. Back it up, no let me be a void. Roll waves. Move over there. Soca don't got bad voice. Roll waves. Move over there. All my soca lovers know far forward. Far forward. Far forward.
7.
Far forward. Far forward. Far forward. Thank you.
Me. He is something else. He really is. And as I told you, I met him earlier, and what attracted me was he is so manly and so nice, and thanks, and I like that about children. And you stand up and you talk to this youngster, and he got real attitude, Adrian, he got real attitude. And when he holds that microphone in his hand, he's a totally different human being. It's like, as I mentioned, little Rick backstage, sitting down, Rick, you good? Yeah, you all right?
Very quiet.
When he get there, it's a whole different human
Different beast.
Good night to the Calypso Monarch of Barbados, Adrian Clarke, 3-time. Calypso Monarch, he was wondering, he said he fans wondering, man, when next you go with the crowd? You go with the crowd for so long, you bring a crowd song. Congratulations.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
This year was your year for tricks.
Boy.
You get tricked. This year you tricked them.
Yeah, boy, you got outwitted last year. But I guess when your time comes, so.
Cleve, let me bring you back here, Cleve. I know you would want to congratulate the king. So go right ahead, Cleve. Please, Scott is with us.
Well, congratulate my friend. And you know that I was always one of your long-lasting supporters. And this year, you really did a very good job.
Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thanks, Cleve.
And Cleve and I will butt in and butt out. All right. So I know that you got this real thing of starting late. I don't know if it energizes you or whatever. But whenever you ask Adrian Clarke, what song you singing this year, man? I know yet, I can put something together. And then out of the clear blue sky, something falls. Was that a situation this year?
Yeah, this year, in all honesty, I really wasn't anywhere near as far as competing. I wasn't thinking of it. I did my event in May for Effect, which was at Ilara Court. And then from that, I went straight into World Cup cricket. And I was like, boy, I'm finding no time to write.
yeah.
Right. I had a few people came to me and asked me to write for them, which, to be honest, I don't like doing. I really don't like writing for people, to tell the truth, especially if you can't sing. And there were a few who came who can sing, but I just didn't have the time. And I was like, I ain't even write for myself, so I don't know how I can write for you.
Wow.
You know? And I had a few people around Kensington asking me, what you doing here, what you doing here? You don't got a crunk to win? You get beat last year? You don't got for crunk? I just listen. I like listening to people. I can go as far back as 2001 when I wrote this melody. I heard a St. Lucian vendor saying that young people killing soca. And he was going on about Ira George. He said, oh, this the killing soca. What they doing with soca? The killing soca. So I looked around and I went, thank you. He was wondering, like, what this man telling me thank you for? But I said, thank you. I went home and wrote it, you know? But I had the melody in my head, just didn't have the lyrics. So I went home and wrote it. So as I say, I listen to people and I draw from that. Yes, I know I'm usually very late, 99.9% of the time when it comes to preparing for the tent and crop over on the whole. But because of recent times, I'm busy. I'm also a businessman, so I'm busy dealing with that. Something that is, crop over is that little section, but my business is, you know.
You do a lot of work.
Yeah.
I don't know, Cleve, whenever you're ready, you can butt in. I'm going to keep him engaged, and you could butt in anytime, Cleve.
But let me come here now, Admiral. I think one of the strengths that Adrian brings is his excellent meter and his ability to think about the lyrics that's going to come and sing the appropriate melody at the right time. Not many calypsonians can do that. So my question to Adrian, for the sake of the audience, is when he think he developed that skill, did he develop it early in the industry, 2000, 2001, much later?
The thing is, nothing happens before it's time. You know, I'm still learning. Been doing it now 31 seasons now, and I'm still learning. For example, with the extempo and stuff I do, and I've been practicing that from a little boy. I got in trouble doing that, you know, at school, at home, you know, and it's something that practice, as the saying goes, practice makes perfect. So these are things that I practice over the years. I listen to many other calypsonians and see how they practice their craft. I was like, yo, there's a good styling way you can do X, Y, Z, and you know, you try it. The bathroom has very good acoustics, and that's where I like to go and try things, you know, and it kind of works.
Biggest moment of finals night. Let me run through that journey with you. iWeb goes on stage.
Yeah.
Gets through, I think his first two verses reasonably well. Very good. Still pretty much in the competition, but attempts to go at a third with some pecan and totally messes all the way up. How did you feel then? Because, I mean, come on. Once iWeb drops the ball, Adrian is coming.
Oh, yeah. In all honesty, I was there asking him, trying to tell him, don't stop, right? In all honesty, I was there saying, don't stop. I was at the bottom of the steps. Don't stop. So when he paused the first time, I was like, don't stop. I ain't stopping. I can tell you, I didn't stop. But then when it happened the second time, I was like, shucks. Sorry, buddy.
One created the other, though.
Yeah. One wants to float in. That's because panic was set in. Yeah. You know, panic was set in. I've been in a position like that already, but the thing is that I don't stop. I guess it's from my experience with the extempo and stuff, I don't stop. I can go back as far as 2014, my second song, Fanfare. I forgot the entire first verse. I made up that verse on the spot. And I remember I had Carol Alf Padmore on stage, part of my props. And every time I turned, I could see Alf gave me this nasty look because he knew the song. We wrote the song together. And the thing is, I made up that whole verse and part of the chorus. And then the second verse started, I was like, this thing is not coming back to me. So panic was gonna set in right there. I just started singing. Then it came back. And I came second to Webster that year. So I was saying, boy, I wonder what happened if I had sung this song correct. Maybe I would have won.
Wow.
Because I did constituency at Calypso that year too, which I think was one of my better performances when I checked them all out. So it happens. So you think it's don't panic. Don't panic. And for me, over the years, I be very honest, I just really don't remember half of the song. I just got this knack and ability to do the extempo, you know? Yeah, so from doing that, once you know your song, and if you wrote it, makes it easier.
But Adrian, you come with a voice that is loved in Barbados. Inflection, intonation, everything is on point. If you mess up, we will know.
You might think so.
And I ain't meaning messing up by forgetting a line, or we will not know.
Yeah, you know, I think one of my strengths is the fact that my diction is quite clear.
It is,
and it can also be my downfall for that purpose. People will say, boy,
got you know.
You know. So the thing is, I don't really worry about it. I love doing it. I mean, every year I say, nah, take a break. I'm not the sort of person to say done, because if you're a true Calypso, you ain't getting done. You might just pause.
Yeah.
You might
but
say
you're
you ain't getting done.
No. The competition is going on, and you are to come, because you was way down the line.
Yeah,
are you watching what's going on? Are you listening?
I listen to some. I would listen to one or two. The ones that you know that would give you a run for your money, so to speak.
Felt that could have given you a run for your money?
IWeb, in all honesty, IWeb.
Yeah.
I sported Crystal, even when we were drawing numbers, and shortly after that, and I told her.
This was a proposal?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. I didn't sing in the tent until the Saturday before we judged. I think we judged did we judge the 16th of July? I think it was. We were first. But I sang the Saturday before that. I sang the Tuesday, which was judging night. And then I sang finals night. 3 times I sang for the season.
Incredible.
So, yeah, pay off quite well. So I remember telling Crystal, when I did listen to her song, I said, yo, Chrissy, the lowest you come in this year is in top 3. Trust me. So I did listen to Crystal, right? She sang early. I heard kids say he was early too. Unfortunately, what happened to him, but it kind of paid off for him a certain way. When he came back, he was quite good.
Were you aware that you had gone into the finals with the most points?
Well, you would like to think that you're going in. You're really sure.
You were not aware.
You hear people talking about it.
But you did go in with the most points.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I must say, when I first performed this song this Saturday night, we performed Barbados Public Workers Cooperative Credit Union, big show, all of that. Yeah, big show. We performed at the university at UE this Saturday night. That was my first show. And the song was very well received.
Wow.
Right? First time singing it, I was like, boy, am I going to remember this song? And of course, get an encore, and that's when they can let go, because they can start freeing up and singing things. You know, singing for the crowd, to get the crowd into it. And at that time, that's all practice, you know. Then judging night at the gym, very upbeat crowd, and I totally enjoyed judging night. And right after, I always tell people, judging night, encores don't give you points. Encores will come after the points done gone. Judges finish. Judges finish when you come on to the encore. The band is going to stop, then you're going to come back and sing if you get an encore.
That is it. That's the written rule.
Yeah.
That's all it is. That's the written rule.
Yeah. So,
but we're dealing with human beings here.
Yeah, exactly. But that's done. Points are already finished as far as I'm concerned. So I came out and I had a blast. You know, I had a blast, sang things that come to your head, more or less. Don't ask me why I sang, I can't remember. But the thing about it is that I had good fun doing the song. And the song was written to do exactly what I did finals night.
Right.
If you look back to 2019, I sang one version of Christmas in Cropova, and then it was something completely different, thanks to my good friend David Weatherhead for finals. So that's the way it goes.
Okay. So, well, Adrian, we can take a little pause for cause.
But all right.
On the sweet spot.
And
hopefully when we come back, we'll have a sweeter spot. We'll be back. Compliments, Axel Finance.
All right. All right.
Yeah, we ain't got.
Bye-bye.
Once again, congratulations, Adrian. Now, I know last year you tried a show,
Yeah.
and we don't have a party Monarch. And I was telling the Calypsonians on air that even if the NCF is not bringing it,
I doing it next year though.
you doing the party Monarch.
Coming next year.
See? All right, there you
Soca
go.
Rumble coming next year.
That's
and
what I want here.
And it's going to be the biggest prize ever as far as whoever that Monarch is.
You throwing in the vehicle you want?
If I throw in that,
Yeah.
nobody gonna want an old vehicle, man. I'm gonna be an old vehicle like next year.
Okay.
After you let the stuff is out of there, that's gonna be old. We coming new. We coming new, and it ain't just gonna be vehicle. Don't just think vehicle. Think
Right.
think bigger.
House and land.
Maybe. Maybe.
Well-
but it can be big.
But I think it is important because I believe instead of moping and groping all the time about who's not doing what,
Yeah.
you put the act together and make
Yeah,
it
man.
happen, and you will get the support.
Oh yeah. I'm looking forward to that. So Soca Rumble 2025 is coming. And
Wow.
I was told I have no choice but to defend my crown for 2025 too.
You will defend it? You will
Yeah,
defend
once a funny time I can do it. I think I have the song to sing already, and I can tell you right now, it will not be a song like what I did this year, and it's gonna be early.
All right.
It's gonna be early.
All right, Adrian, I want to thank you, man. I want to sneak in a little piece of your performance here
Aye.
on the night. We got the Noise Boys coming up, but we got to teeth a little piece
Well, all right.
of your song.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, Adrian. Good luck.
Appreciate it.
Aha! Happy crop over! Ah, yes! Bribip. Boom bam! Ah! Last year crop over, from the time I dropped me song, the whole place the scene. AC guy win the crown. I thought I had it covered, but I went use the brain. It seems the boy is doing things and Nancy going back again. Some say they lose their bets on me. How I let them down. All I had to do was turn up and I had another crown. You're too laid back, overconfident. The pride you need to rethink. Do like in 2001 and 8 and cuss everybody stink. I ain't singing about no economy. We already know it's a mess. So for me to keep lamenting is just adding to this foolishness. Don't tell me about no consultants consulting about consultation when the section of the population bordering on starvation. The youngsters ain't got no money, yet they can buy a gun. Are they getting it on HP and paying the commercial when the week done? I ain't shooting off me mouth in areas I don't know I'm from. No, I just searching for a way to turn last year's two into number one. So what they ask me? You going for brown? AC, are you going for brown? It's a long, long time since you did number one. You going for brown? AC, are you going for brown? So much material and you ain't write a song. We know you got this melody Ask the judges who judging we. Put that all in a song as a proud Bajan. We know you got the thing to do, and I am telling each of you, write a song, easy, and go for Crown.
Yeah, Adrian Clarke went for Crown and won it. Took it away. Roger Gittins' arrangement. Roger has done some serious songs over time. We got to bring him on one night and interview Roger. I think this program, by the way, should go on all year, to be quite honest with you. Don't worry, you ain't got to pay me. I'll come and just do a program for you. So that the artists could continue to be out there, so that Noise Boys could continue to make music for the people. So I telling the CBC management crew, keep a program like this on, that we could continue to promote our culture and what is our thing. Now, if you want to know who the Noise Boys are, they are responsible for this next fella here, who win all the big money this year. Have a look.
If I had one wish, I will wish that I could bring back all the people I miss. Hold a party right now, let me kick and reminisce. Cause tomorrow's not promised. When you see me line put the boat in effect, make sure my name on the list. I love you, I miss you, I love you. Ooh. Come on, come on. I got it on tomorrow.
Now he's actually playing. He's actually playing the keyboard there. That's interesting. But I want he part of his song we jump up, so he could jump up and get on bad. I want to just put me through the intro. Anyhow, let me say goodnight to Noise Boys. We got Everson Brown. He works with us here at CBC. You're Donovan, right? No, he's Donovan. Donovan. I know this face. You best looking man? Not on this set tonight.
No.
And Jamar?
Yeah, Jamar.
Guys, tell me about Noise Boys. This is your second triumph for Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Want to still drink him, Mobby?
Last time it was better.
There's the fellas here who got this road Mark's Mobby song. And now this year, this song this year though, this is top stuff.
Yeah.
I got one issue with this song, and I've said it publicly and I say it again. You see them vocals? I wish them vocals were a little cleaner and more rigid. Because the message in this song is one that we're going to live with forever. I ain't waiting till tomorrow. I want what it gave me now. So tell me about this guy, Bruce Lee Almighty, and how did he come to be a part of Noise Boys, and you fellas recording him and making him so successful?
Well, the thing about it is Bruce is an entertainer.
Yeah.
And he encompasses the entire word, every letter. He is an entertainer. And is his creative thinking that he brings to the table, which is very unique. I can say from the years that we have been producing, he has a little something different and special. And he has a team around him that, again, they bring out the best in him. So we would have started working with Bruce, I would say, back in 2020, actually, when we had a little free time in COVID during the actual working hours where you could actually function. So all during that time we were working. It was a case where artists are at home, can't work, and the best artists would obviously start to create.
How
right?
do you guys contribute individually here? Who does what?
Right. So Jamar is the lead engineer.
Engineer?
Yes, lead engineer. Right.
Okay.
He's the lead engineer. Right. Donovan, many hats, admin, writer, contracts.
And Bruce writes his own songs.
Yes, Bruce writes his own songs, right? But within the group itself, right? Those will be functions that Donovan will carry out, a bit marketing as well. Myself would be A&R, research and development, creative director.
Tell me about Melody. Who's responsible? Is it a collective thing? Is it
Very much collective.
It's a collective.
It's a collective, but when you speak about tomorrow, that was Bruce. You know,
Wow.
that was
You
Bruce.
must maybe at sometimes say, I don't like that. I feel that you could adjust this. That's the type of conversations
Oh yeah.
Definitely.
you all having there. Noise Boys, why do Noise Boys? Noise and music. It was strange combination, you know.
But answer this question: what is actually music? Is music
Music, yeah.
No. But this is the thing, right? You could say that noise is music is arranged noise.
Right.
Basically, it's the way how you put it.
I like it. Okay. I would like to accept
Any
that.
noise is a tone.
Yeah, it could be a tone.
Yeah, so Noise Boys fits, and that's it. All right, okay.
It fits our personality as well.
It fits you up. We're all noisy.
Yeah, that's a fact. Hey, you didn't aim at the sex slang. We at the end of the season, though. You know.
Is this your most successful year? And if not, talk to me about a reflection of maybe another year that would be bigger than this. I don't know, guys. It's going to be hard to top this year.
I guess you could say it's on the same level. I think it's a continuation from 2022
Okay.
of COVID, because we have
Who you work with? Maybe some names that you've worked with would help us to understand that. Yeah.
All right, so there's Rialyn, there's Sugary.
Okay, wow.
There's Avery, who's on the show. AJ. There's obviously Bruce, man.
We did work with Lil Rick.
Turbies from
Trinidad, Freshie.
Walks. Mole.
All right.
So many. There's so many names.
You're a cheap studio.
Wow.
I just wonder, you know, if because one of the things that I hear a lot of I didn't hear a lot of it this year, but I know in previous years the young people have been saying that they can't walk into a studio to record because they just can't afford it. Yeah. Now, based on what I'm hearing coming out of Noise Boys and one or two other groups that I've heard and talked to this year already, is that there now is an affordability. So I'm wondering how it works.
Right.
Well, in terms of the different arrangements, in most cases for us, we tend to invest because we invest heavily into the culture and we believe it's Barbados versus the world.
Right.
So we come to like various agreements with the artists and so forth because we work alongside them, so we actually invest a lot into our productions, and there are other ways and means.
Yeah,
to
to
make
sort
body
out things.
to
You can work out your contracts
Yeah, work
and
out your
stuff.
contracts.
I recommend to every producer like yourselves in Barbados to watch Steely and CLEVE documentary.
Yeah, correct.
And see exactly what they did with a lot of unknowns, like you guys are doing right now, and making them superstars over time. And in the long run, you're owning your product, so it works for you.
Correct.
Yeah.
That's the way the industry should run.
So that's exactly how we actually run our space.
Nice.
Once you come into our space, we have a conversation first.
Nice.
We have a discussion. We find out where you are financially, and we establish a payment plan that works for both parties. Because one thing Donovan mentioned is contracts. We don't shy away from contracts. It's a part of the business. So at every stage of artist development, the first stage is business. Right?
Okay.
You have to understand what are your rights, what are our rights,
Precisely.
and how we move forward from there, right? And once you leave our studio, you should be able to go and work with anybody and be able to tell them, well, listen,
you're educated.
exactly, X, Y, Z.
That makes sense.
This is what I'm entitled to. This is what you're entitled to.
Exactly.
So you should be able to then manage and function and then come back to us a fuller individual. You know, we encourage all our artists to work with other producers, production houses, because it's about collaboration and creativity.
How do I get in contact and find Noise Boys? You're all on Instagram and all types of things like that.
You can find us on Instagram, NoiseBoys246, or on our website, forevernoise.com.
Yeah.
Okay. And as you heard, guys, it's not all that expensive. You can make arrangements with Noise Boys. This youngster here works at CBC, so if you can't find them, find me, and I can find Brown. I want to congratulate you guys.
Thank you very much.
For giving somebody like Bruce Lee Almighty an opportunity to produce a song I feel is from the heart. Because when you listen to our lyrical content, and I was happy to hear him saying, I'm serious now. I'm looking at this thing as very serious now. So maybe your talks and stuff that made it happen. Guys, thank you. It's amazing how time ran so quickly. But we got teeth a little bit more Bruce Lee Almighty with this song tomorrow. We can't wait till tomorrow. If we don't play it tonight, we might not live to see tomorrow. So let's play a little bit of Bruce Lee, please, before we end the sweet spot. Yeah. Okay, guys, that's it for the sweet spot in 2024. And I want to thank Brown, you know, because Brown has been here every night that we've done this. We've had a magnificent technical team working, Alicia and crew inside, really putting this show together. Cleve, if you're still around, I thought you were asleep by now, Cleve, because I know you go to bed pretty early. But Cleve,
well,
Cleve, let me say thanks to you, and I want to give you an opportunity to do a closeout for me tonight, Cleve. So please go ahead. It's all yours.
Well, Crop Over was magnificent, and we look forward to 2025. And as Admiral has promised, the sweet spot will be back.
There you go. Thank you, CBC. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for supporting us. And congratulations to all the winners this year. And continue to sing the song. Today or tomorrow, it doesn't matter. That is going to last for quite a long time. I'm the Admiral. Whatever you do, enjoy the rest of your year. And if CBC listens to me, we could have this program ongoing for the rest of the year, free from me to them. See ya.